The fourth generation Honda Civic, or CIvic EF as many enthusiasts know them by, has continued to grab the attention from builders all over the world. From Mugen and Spoon inspired, natural aspirated or boosted track beasts, this mole platform has been used for everything. I couldn't fully understand the reason why enthusiasts would continue to build on a 30-year-old platform. Therefore, I decided to ask a few of my friends and try to understand what the EF community is about and why they continue to build the Civics.
cam, so I had to notch it to close this so it doesn't go down way, so you gotta give it a little help. Because it won't start if the throttle's open. It's the security through AEM.
Yeah.
So. Hi, my name is Brandon Smith. I own a 1990 Civic SI. It's converted to all-wheel drive. It is a 84 mil bore GSR LS stroke. It's putting down some good power. I drive it every day on the streets. I've owned it for about 13 years now. She's been my pride and joy ever since, and a never-ending project. The first time I actually noticed the EF, I was 15, and up the street from us, we used to have this guy named Bobby. He was a Japanese guy, and down the street from him was a guy named Juneboy, and he had a silver EF in his garage. It was all raced out. It was roll caged up, 1,000+ horsepower, and this was back in the days. Like I said, I'm 34 now, so this happened like yeah, when I was 15, so 2000s, 99, 2000-ish. And ever since I seen that car, I fell in love. I've always been around V8s. I grew up around V8s. I grew up at the Fairplex in Pomona. One of my uncles was crew chief leader for Don Perdone, one of the MGD funny cars. And I've just always been around horsepower my whole life. But when I've seen the EF, I was just like, first I was fascinated on how much power they can make, but second of how clean and simple it was. And then ever since then, I just fell in love. So I've kept the car for so long, just because when I first bought it, well, it's a long story. I've been around Hondas forever. I've owned almost 34 Hondas. And when I moved to Arizona, I used to have a DA Integra that was stolen from me. And I told myself then there I was not going to build any more Hondas. And so I started riding motorcycles. And when I came back to California, that's when I came across this car and decided, okay, we're going to do it one more time. And then that's where it started. At first, it was just kind of a street racer. We used to just street race it Monday through Friday down in Ontario, and we would do that every single day, and then just kept beating it and getting in trouble, catching tickets, and etc. Over the time, it was my daily driver as well to work, so it was my only transportation, and it did very good. It never left me stranded, not one time. So I started saying, okay, let's throw some money into it. Once we decided to start throwing money into it, then that's when it just went from there. The cars had a couple different stages. At first, I was really detoured from the situation. I really wanted to get rid of it. And then I got into a situation with my kids. One of them had broke his arm. He broke the second arm, and then CPS came and took him from us. So we drove every day from here to San Bernardino to go visit them for 6 weeks until we got them back. So this car took me and my wife down there every single day to go visit these kids. And on top of that, took me to work, never left me hanging. So that's when I said, okay, now we're gonna start a project car. Now she deserves what she is today. So we started from there. We started something basic, single cam turbo, and kept going from there. Busted down, repainted it, put the single cam turbo back in, and then from there we went to a dual cam ZC. Did that, 300 horses for 2 years, and then we went supercharged GSR. After that, drove that forever, had a couple different cars in the meantime, and then that's when I decided, okay, now she's like here to stay. She's definitely cannot go anywhere, so she'll be with us to the end. So that's when I said, okay, she's gonna get a full build, like name brand parts, real, put some real money into her and give her what she deserves. to me, building an EF, it just takes time and dedication. It's different from going to build, a 2000 Civic that you can find parts in the junkyard like timelessly. In every single junkyard you go to, you can find those parts. When you go to a junkyard, if you find something for an EF, like, you lucked up and you grab everything. And that's why you don't see them too often in the junkyard with parts left anymore. So to me, it's like the difficulties is that number one, but getting everything to fit. The chassis is so small, you don't have any room to work with. So to accomplish something that we have accomplished, it means a lot, and it just shows creativity.
Probably gotta take it off. Hi, my name is Danny Limas. I'm a proud owner of a 1989 Honda CRX SI, and pretty much owned this car for 10 plus years now. Originally, I bought it in 2009 in May from a buddy who originally purchased the car from a Honda dealer. There was a lady who traded in, who was the original owner, who traded in for a fit, and he went to go check it out at the dealer in Westminster. And while he test drove the car, it died on him. And the car was marked up like 4K or something. But once the test drive was over, he got a good deal on it, and he paid like $1,500 for the unrunning CRX. So I asked him if he would sell it to me. He said, "Yeah, not a problem." And he sold it to me for like $2,700 with a replaced motor. So finally got it, and I was pretty much happy. I was happy with it. So, pretty much the first time I noticed the EF was Randy's Quest Toys Gagan's 1990 Honda CRX SIR on Honda Tuning. That magazine came out like in December 2004, and I had just recently graduated from Cal Poly Pomona, and I saw that magazine. I fell in love with the cover, which he was in, and I started looking at the article and reading about it and how he sourced the car in Japan and brought it over, and just the passion and dedication that he was involved with this car made me believe that I can do the same thing if I bought a CRX. And that's pretty much, he solidified like the next car that I was gonna get, which was a CRX. It's been 10 years so far building this car, and it's not done yet. You know, I'm surprised that I haven't given up on it after so long, where I've seen so many cars get featured and parted out like quickly right after. But I'm not in it for that. I'm pretty much in it for the long haul. I want to have this as one of my trophies, you know, one of my accomplishment goals. So maybe that's the reason why I keep going and keep doing what I do. Even the littlest things that I do to the car, it just makes me feel like I'm getting a little bit closer to finishing the car off. You know, and that's pretty much what motivates me overall, you know, and also seeing other cars getting done differently from other cars in the past. You know, I'm not really into the Mugen or the Spoon or just the generic Japanese aftermarket parts, but I like combining parts and making it all cohesive and blending these parts together, you know, American, Japanese, wherever it comes from, Britain. But that's pretty much what I like getting involved in with this car, you know, just so there's so many parts to source from different areas, and making it work all together. That's like an art, you know, and being a designer and having a creative mind, it kind of helps blend all these items together and making this work of art. You know, this is my canvas, my blank canvas, but when I'm done, you know, it's gonna be my little masterpiece, you know, my little Salvador Dali. Because my first car was a 2002 Honda Civic, you know, and I sold it in 2009 when I got this car, and I used that money to buy this car and buy other parts. But the last 10 years, I've been accumulating brand new Honda parts from all over the world, pretty much. You know, Japan, Britain, Europe, you know, here, Canada, up north, you know, so, and just pretty much dedicated to find all the parts that I needed. And pretty much the entire exterior of the car is brand new, except for one part, which is the left tail light, and I still haven't sourced it till this day. So, but there's a buddy of mine in Singapore who has it, and he doesn't want to fucking sell it, but it's fine, you know, whatever. I can deal with it. But it's just a passion that I have for the car, and just how much I'm involved with it and not involved with it, you know, because I've taken breaks within these 10 years. You know, sometimes I just leave the car there sitting and I don't do anything. Just for instance, last year it came out on the Chronicles meet and hasn't seen the light of day since then, or gone to another meet. So, but I get it. It's not done yet. It's doesn't have a motor yet, but it's a pretty shell. That's what it is. It's a pretty shell, you know. But you know, it's a labor of love for sure. I've spent so much money on this car, but I wouldn't change it for the world, you know, not at all. Like, things come and go, but this thing's gonna stay with me forever. You can switch it down, right?
So Mugen M7s, full polish. Those are, I'm just trying to be like you. Going on the Integra, and then I'm trying to make a clone DB8. The EF8 front bumper is going on the Track CRX. The EF9 bumper is actually at my friend's house, but that one's actually getting put on the hatch. I have random pieces, brand new, with still the red tag Honda sticker on it. 9091 bumper, a lip. I'm not even sure for what EF model, but all of this is EF stuff. Sunroof cut for the, it's a little rough, but at least it doesn't have the bubbles. I have the EF9, EF8 hoods to go on the track hatch, track CRX. I have new doors back there, new door skins, new moldings, a couple little things here and there, CRX fenders, ZC stuff, JDM stuff, more CRX stuff, more CRX stuff, more CRX stuff, CRX hatch interior pieces that I took off, mirrors that I polished out, just all kinds of different EF8 box, just restoring some interior pieces, just keeping the clips, trying to refurbish. All of these things are just pieces that you kind of need when you're restoring something. So I'll sell as I keep getting them. Yeah, I've been working on this for a little bit now.
Oh wow.
So still got to do some more touches to it, but yeah, it's getting really close. And then I redid the piece, the trim piece, refurbished it. It's all done. Probably try and clean up the panels a little bit. Hi, I'm Gene. I own 3 EFs. They're all different kind of flavors. I enjoy the track life now, so I've kind of wanted to go a little bit more track with these two here, and then basically the one in the back is what I started with 4 years ago. It was May. Bought the car for the motor, nothing else, and I was gonna just sell the shell. Basically I just wanted to build a period correct dual overhead cam ZC CIvic hatch special edition, and one thing led to another, and you just get to picking cars, and basically sold all the parts for it that I didn't like, and then got better parts and kept buying, selling, and trading. During that time where you're kind of looking for new things like EF8 front bumper or front end clip, came across this car here, and bought the whole car just to take off that EF8 front. And when that happened, I was kind of in a lull with this car, and I couldn't get enough parts for it quick enough. And so when this project started here, it basically was, let me just fill up some time with you know, messing around, tinkering with different styles, and that's when I started thinking about building a track car. I met a lot of nice people along the way, and I noticed that the EF community in general is just a great community to be in. Everybody seems to want to help. The whole track thing came from like anime and different things that you see, and you know, just the interesting, just the Conjo style and hearing about all of that kind of stuff. And so the track builds are really just kind of inspired by that, but clearly nothing to that level. But yeah, I've just been really focused on just meeting new people through the cars, and that's the best part of it for me. The cars are nice, and they'll kind of come and go, I guess, but well, more stay than go. But I think it's the personalities, the people that you meet that have that passion. It doesn't matter if your car is super nice or if it's like some kid that just bought one. It's that joy that I had when I was younger that makes it so exciting for me. it's not an easy car to build because there's so few parts now for them, and it's it really takes a labor of love to try and build one again, you know. And I mean, JDM parts are great and I love looking at them, but it's like just trying to make it so it just kind of looks presentable is good enough for me. It's like I appreciate people liking what I do, but for me it really is about the connections you make with the people. So I first noticed an EF when they first came out, 1988. I saw the CRX and thought, man, that is the nicest car I could afford. And so I started saving, and basically it was about 2 years later, right after high school. The car cost $10,900 brand new at Robertson Honda, and I went in with all the intentions to get a silver or black Honda CRX, and I ended up getting a blue four-door sedan just because I thought it'd be more practical. I know it's kind of a weird thing for a 20-year-old to think more practical, but that's what I ended up getting. I really loved the car though, and I couldn't have been happier with it. It was lowered and had rims on it the first day I had it, and it was just an unusual, because everybody else was fixing up hatches and CRXs. I had a sedan, so it kind of set me apart. So the most important thing about building an EF to me is just the enjoyment of it. It's like I said before, it's a labor of love. The parts are hard to find, and I know people love having Mugen stuff or whatever, spoon, and I enjoy that part too if I can find them and get them. But to me, it's really just it's taking you back to a time when you had that enjoyment of that car, the EF chassis, the first time you saw it, the first time you touched it and got to change suspension components or change a header and change an air intake, and you thought, oh man, this is the coolest thing ever. And it's all about that to me now. Is it just takes me back to the excitement of being able to tinker with that car.
My suggestion to someone building an EF is do the research and read as much as you can. It's different from building another car. Take your time. It's going to be expensive, so you know, if you come up with a budget, you have to come up with a realistic budget. You can't come up with, you know, a junkyard budget. It's just not going to work. It's very hard. And if you do, you're not going to get a very reliable 30-year-old car that can drive everywhere in the world, you know. And you know, EFs they have wiring issues. They have you know, you have to go down deep into it. She's been fully rewired, so you have to take all that stuff into consideration. You can't just say, okay, I want to build the EF, and this is your first car. Yes, that was okay back in 1999, but like in today's days, everyone is hoarding these EF parts, so you don't have the option to just go and get them like how you think you can get them. So just take that all into consideration when building an EF, and if you do decide to do it, we back you 100%. We're always here to help. Questions, concerns, anything you guys have. And I don't know everything. I still ask other EF guy questions, and that's the beauty of the EF community. We all communicate. We all ask each other questions, anything we don't know. Some of the parts are easier to source with the people that we know, so you know, that also has to be taken into consideration when building an EF.
The most important thing in building an EF, to me, I think it's execution. It needs to be well-rounded, you know, from the paint, the wheel setup, the parts that you're, you know, putting on your car. They can't be fake, you know, need to be genuine, and it's just makes the car pop a little bit more, and it sticks out from the rest of the batch. Because when you go to a EF meet, you know, everybody's driving an EF, but there's only certain ones that really pop and you really pay attention to, and that's pretty much what I wanted to do. I wanted to build something that pops, that is executed well, that stands out, and I think I've done it so far, but it's not done yet. But overall, it's something that really like stands out to me. The execution, pretty much. So just general execution. You know, That's the most important thing. You're paying attention, taking your time. That's the key thing too. Taking your time. Don't rush things. You know, people just want what's in right now. What's in right now. What's in right now. You know, like take your time. You know, don't jump the gun on things. They'll come. You know, but just take your time. Set yourself back. Look at your project and see if these parts work with it. See if they don't. You know. And I think at the long haul, you take your time, you'll build something you really, really like. You know.
You kind of resign yourself to building a car for yourself, and you want to just, it's been a 4-year labor of love with the first one, and then each and every one that I acquire, it's there's something new to learn, and I just enjoy that process. I enjoy sharing that process. If you're my friend and you need an EF part, I will try and get it to you. I know some parts I can sell, but you know, little things, I've always been, you know, giving them away, because to me, that's the enjoyment, is building that relationship and having others get to enjoy your stuff too. There's nothing like it. That, like I said, that EF community and that excitement is what I enjoy the most.
So there you have it. As I am in the trunk of my car, trying to keep the trunk open and the GoPro going, I started thinking about all the education, knowledge, and motivation that Gene, Danny, and Brandon brought to this video. I hope this helps you in any way, to you, the person who's building an EF or just any car in general. The EF community is a very special one. The people I've met are very special. Thank you to you guys. Thank you to your family for allowing us to spend some time. And thanks to everyone who received some type of information from this. The EF community is definitely a special one that we hope that it continues, and one that we hope that it grows. For now, Accords are still better. Thank you. Just kidding. So you remember the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what's the question?
That was squeaky because it's already, there's nothing to clean.
Yeah, like there's nothing to fucking clean right now. So what can I clean?
Take one.
There's no take one, it's just raw, man.
Alright, cool.
Alright, so we're going to start with...
Just want to be like Gus.
JNC wheels?
Wow.
That was a long pause right there.
Yeah, I just added this. I had that etched into the
little sticker,
JNCs.
huh?
Yeah.
Etc. I just love the community.
It's
And,
beautiful.
I really
Out here getting coyotes.
yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
my bad, I
coyotes.
just...
And
Wanna race? I can't record you like that, you're too fast.
I guess I should elaborate on these questions.
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, just a little bit.
All right. So I think this is the best angle for me. All right. You put them back in your pocket, huh? You're like,
I did.
how,
Well,
how am I supposed to read them?
can I have them out? No, huh? Okay, like this?
Never studied in school, and all of a sudden you
Yeah.
want to know.
all you see is that dirt right there.
That was you?
Yeah.